All right, party people, it's me again. So I'm on here because I want to talk. Let's see what my lower third looks like here. Hang on, guys. What do I have up here? Welcome to Real Talk with Marcel, the only true. Okay, this will work. Um, Listen, guys. I'm here to talk about these Meta glasses. Now, the Meta glasses, let me tell you, they've been out for about 2 years, and I got them pretty much when they first came out, right? And I've been using them because I have a platform, and I do interviews with mainly businesses to interview them and put them in my platform and give them some exposure, right? I like to come on here because my friends and family are on here and all that and whatever. So, but every day I'm doing a lot of stuff on my own platform. I've kind of abandoned these because I have my ideas about them that people don't know. And anyways, but look, I'm here. Doesn't matter, right? So, let's just get into it. We're talking about Meta glasses here. But before I go into this, I want to tell you guys something. You know, things happen for a reason. Sometimes we never know until much later why a thing is a thing or why something happened the way it did. Now, before I show you this clip, I'm going to tell you, I predict that we as a society are going to start behaving so much better in public. We're going to turn into the nicest, sweetest people. You know, you see people act up and just just doing outlandish stuff in public. Oh, that's coming to an end. Wouldn't that be great if everybody just behaved well in public and, right? How though? How could that ever happen? Right? Why would people start behaving? People just act like they're out of their minds. I'm gonna show you how. Watch this.
There needs to be an immediate recall or recall, whichever comes first, on Meta glasses. I am Auntie, okay? So I've kind of escaped this whole Meta glasses pandemic that we are experiencing right now, but I have finally gotten got, okay? Unfortunately, Auntie got yesterday in the grocery store. Picture this. I'm in the bean section on the phone with my mother trying to figure out which beans I need to buy for this particular dish that I am making. I hear a person approach me. I look. I see a Nike Tech, I see Meta glasses, and I see a light. Terrible combination. But it's okay because I'm PR trained. I'm incredibly PR trained. So what do? I smile. I look at the light. I'm not getting a clip. Nothing will be entertaining about this interaction. He says, I think you're beautiful. Also, I work night shifts, 12 hours overnight. I sleep during the day. I do everything at night. With that being said, you have to know tolerance is very low, and I am not up for the shenanigans. Again, I am Auntie. But I was cut out for a time such as this, okay? I was prepared. He asked me a series of questions, and it may have been a little bit of rage baiting, but you won't get a clip out of Auntie. Now, at this point, I'm thinking that this person is just a...
So basically, what she's saying is, you're not going to get anything out of her because she's going to behave. You ain't getting nothing, player. She's going to behave. Remember I told you at the beginning of the clip? You're going to start seeing people as this thing progresses. Now, these Meta glasses have been out for at least 2 years, I'm telling you. And some of the people who are late to the party, especially when it comes to tech, there are a lot of people, look, no shame, I'm just saying, late to the party, they're starting to find out about these just now, right? And the ignorance, which simply means lack of information or not knowing. I'm not weaponizing the term to call anybody a name, but it's a true word, and I think it fits here. The ignorance is amazing because when people don't understand stuff, you start to see them lash out, talk like like it's all about their world and whatever they believe in, and everybody else is wrong. Oh my gosh. Have no knowledge of what's really going on. Just getting here to understanding the Meta glasses. There's so many people purchase these things. They're legal. It's a whole thing, right? But to me, this is, and you're going to see more of it. And I'm not trying to call this lady a name. I'm just trying to put it out like I see it. It's ignorance. And you hear it every day with people who are speaking as if they and how they feel is the way it's supposed to be. 100%. Like it's a fact and like it's wrong. So let's keep going. I love putting this stuff out here because I don't know. Just let me roll the clip.
Random person trying to get their career off the ground, because I live in a very small town. So I'm like, there's no way this man actually uploads this content anywhere. Why did that same night one of my close friends sends me a video of kind of what happened to me? So I'm like, dang, that just happened to me. That's crazy. I click on the page. Why is it him? Everyone needs to go to jail. Everyone needs to be in prison. If you own a pair of Meta glasses, I'm coming for you.
Okay. This lady actually sat up here and said everybody needs to go to jail if you have a pair of Meta glasses. Now, here's the thing. Again, I said they've been out for years. To me, right? To me, this is ignorance, right? It's lack of knowledge. It's not knowing. I'm going to keep using the term ignorance because it's a real term. And it's the perfect term for this, right? Now, we generally use certain terms like gay, that means happy. That's been, commonly used now for, a certain gender or sexual behavior or preference or whatever, right? Okay, fine. But this is one of those terms that we generally use as an insult to someone or to weaponize it in some way. I'm not using it in that way, and I want to be clear. It really means basically lacking knowledge in something, right? And the opposite of that would be somewhere land you around intelligence, which means you would have intel, information about something. You got a lack of information or you have information, right? That's all it ever can be. Okay. So this lady is saying people should go to jail. She wants people to go to jail because she wants to go out in public and not be seen. Now, I'm just going to jump into this. I was going to wait further down when you hear more of this. There's so many cameras out there, right? That's taking pictures that you don't even know how they're zooming in on you, getting your information. Just out there in the world, out there in the wild, out there in the world, right? Every day, you don't even know, right? But because you don't know, because your lack of knowledge of it or awareness, right? Then you're cool with it. But and these have been out for 2 years. As soon as you find out, oh, wait a minute, there's a thing. Now you're the authority and they should go to jail and people shouldn't. There's such a thing called freedom of speech, freedom of the press, First Amendment rights, the whole deal. Look, what am I, a constitutional scholar? No, I didn't go to school for that at all. But I'm a little aware of First Amendment at least, right? So I want people to just listen to some more of this because this is the stuff that I like to put out there and get people to see themselves. And I'm sure there are probably a lot of people who agree with this lady, right? You want to go out in public and do what you want to do, but you don't want anybody to see you if you're behaving a certain way or drunk or disorderly or whatever. Because you're right. That's your right. Your right is to act the fool if you want, and nobody should be able. I mean, I can see you with my eyes. You're cool with that because you can't stop that. But you don't want me to see you with my other eyes, the Meta glasses, and then put it somewhere. You did it. You behaved. So this is why at the beginning I said I think ultimately we're going to start behaving better because we know that, and it's right in our faces that people have these Meta glasses. First of all, there are more than Meta glasses out there, just so you guys can know. There are probably at least 10 very popular brands out there that you probably have no idea that people are using. And nobody's using them. Nobody's going to your house, breaking in and standing over you with these things. Of course, that would be a problem. But if you come out in public, you should not expect privacy in public. That's all. What's wrong with that? That's the real deal, folks. If you never heard of that before, there's no expectation of privacy in public. In fact, you thinking that way puts you in a category called the entitled people. You think you should be able to come out of your house and behave however you want. Nobody has a right to see it even. If you could stop people from even looking at you, you probably would. But can't do that, right? So I'll continue. Watch.
You won't be free much longer. This
she won't be able to go to jail.
Outrageous. This crazy. Is outlandish. To meet a random person in a grocery store and upload them to a page is crazy to me. And now y'all are on my list. Y'all will have RICO coming.
I'm gonna
Rico.
approach this from a couple different lenses. The first thing that I'm gonna say about it, and with regard to this video, is that I think that we have to figure out. I mean, I don't know if you can say change the laws, because maybe the laws. There are First Amendment
Yeah,
recorders that want to prove to you that they can record in public spaces, and
that's
they'll
true.
bother you. And I see that happening all the time. But now being secretly recorded, because with these meta glasses, people have actually figured out how to disable the light.
Okay, let me stop here. I guess I'm taking up for this. That's what you would call it, but I'm not. I just want to be the other side, right? He said people are secretly recording you. And that's one way to look at it. Well, people are recording you because you feel they have the glasses on. The glasses aren't always turned on, but they could be recording you without your knowledge. So that's secretly like you're moving around. Oh my God, let me get, right? You shouldn't care who's recording you, like you shouldn't care who sees you in public, because you came out with that on, or you came out doing whatever. And this is why, again, I'm going to remind people that I think that this is going to be something that really, this is a gift for everybody, because everybody's tired of people behaving poorly in public. We all are. And if you say you're not, then I don't know, that's your prerogative, right? But this is it right here. This is what we need. We need the threat, if you would call it that, of you being watched. Because, again, you're already being watched by cameras that do even more. You have no idea the zoom and you have no idea in Walmart, your everyday life. But because it's not right in your face and you don't understand, again, it's all about knowledge, because you don't really understand that it's not top of mind. You're cool with it. But when you know about it, now you want to be, oh, I'm entitled to something you're not even entitled to and don't realize it, right? There are people, I always say, who fought and died. I'm going there. I always go there. Fought, and because to me it's a big deal. People are dead fighting for a stupid thing, and I say that facetiously, right? But a stupid thing like First Amendment rights of an American. And then you got people like this who probably, I don't know, she may have served, or I don't know, but let's say she didn't serve. They'll come on here proudly and just spew misinformation she doesn't even understand. And the charges, it's amazing to me. And I see it every day. I see it with the war. Look, I'm going to just jump over there for a quick second. What if, just what if, what if for a second, an adversary like Iran or somebody, what if they did have some bombs they were ready to send over here? So we let them blow them up first. I mean, look, probably, let's say, it's nonsense, but let's just say. So we let them get a couple of them off first, and then say, oh, go get them, Tiger. We need to get them. Come on. Is that what we do? It's easy on this side of the fence to say, and again, I'm not agreeing. I'm just tossing out information, right? Another way of looking at things. It's easy to say, everything was going well. What the heck? Why are we messing with, right? Because we can't see the other side. We didn't see that thing happen that could happen. It could happen. Nobody can sit there and say, that would never happen. Nobody, honestly, I don't think they could say that. Or, knowingly, right? Maybe out of ignorance, they might say that. Out of not really understanding. Are you there in that situation room, they call it, with the generals, and you're getting all the daily intel, and no, you're not. I'm not. Nobody is, except for those people in there. What if they do know something or did know something? But yet, many, many people all day spend all this time on here. I don't know if they're trying to be cool with their friend. I don't know. But all you see is armchair military people who never went in the military quarterbacking everything. And at the end of the day, at least, in my estimation, and I'll get back to this because this kind of ties in for me. At least, at the end of the day, at the least, you're aiding the people that we decided to go to war with. Is that cool? You think that's cool? Okay, then it's cool if you think it's cool. All right, let's get back to this. All right, here we go.
Of course, they were going to figure out how to disable the light, and they're using it for even worse things than that. But, you know, to know that you can't even have a regular human interaction, you can't even go inside of a grocery store.
All right, got to stop again. Sorry, this is what I do. All right. They disable the light. What he's talking about is there's a little tally light or a little light on the Facebook, right? The person who they getting all our information. Like right now, he's on YouTube. They're getting all the information, but people don't know how much information now they gather. They know a little bit, but they don't understand the depth of it, right? And then the hypocrisy to come on and talk about these glasses, and then it's just not being informed, right? So you and you'll hear it coming up because I'm going to point it out. But the light on there, they just said, well, we'll throw the light on there just to make sure when these people wake up and find out about these glasses, we can say, well, we even put a light on it. They didn't have to put a light on it. There are other glasses out there that don't have no light. They could give two damns about a light because they don't have to. You should behave well enough that if someone sees you in public, all they get is you behaving as a person, an adult should behave in public. That's all. Nobody would be complaining except for they're afraid they may be caught in a position where they're not behaving. Otherwise, you wouldn't care, in my estimation. So I think it's a good thing because I think people are going to start acting like they got some sense out there.
Because nobody is going to know that you're using Meta glasses right off the bat is pretty disheartening that you can't even go shopping.
Yes, you can.
People are going out and about and they buying these Meta glasses, they're disabling them, and then they're recording them or they're using them to record everyday people for content. And so this is a new level that I knew was coming a long time ago. I have a pair of Meta glasses that I don't even use. I actually tested them at a sports game. I went to a sports game like a year or two ago or something like that. And I tested them on Instagram Live, sitting and watching the game and all of that stuff. And so I went live for like a minute and a half. And then I kind of never used them again. I had some ideas of what I wanted to do with them as far as like point of view while at the same time vlogging.
It's a good idea.
On daily basis. Nothing really got into it because I was more focused on building these different platforms.
And that's your prerogative.
On YouTube, because I think that long form content is more lucrative and a better investment. However, the point that I'm making is that we are now getting to the point where we are kind of losing freedoms. Everything is about a camera. I mean, it's bad enough that it's a Ring camera on every.
I got to pause here. He said we're losing freedoms. No. We're losing freedoms when people tell us we can't. See, this is the hypocrisy. This is the problem. I see it every day, and I don't know if people see what I see. And maybe I'm wrong. I don't have to be right. I'm not gonna die on this hill with this topic. I could be wrong, but you hear what he just said? It just slid right out there like it was the truth of all truths. No. We're not losing freedoms. We're losing freedoms when we can't wear the doggone glasses. This is insane to me. And I love it because it's so clear and easy. It's like dealing with 5-year-olds. Like if somebody's 5 or 10-year-old kid telling you, no, asserting something, and you're 25, 30, you know better. Telling you how to drive. A 10-year-old saying, no, you can't turn, you can turn left on a red light because I saw a car do it on TV and I can, right? Just debating you, right? And then you're like, no, that's wrong. That was TV, and you try to explain. They can't comprehend, they can't understand. That's how I feel sometimes. And that's to me what this is. What these people are asserting, what they're saying, what they're going on about. I just feel like 5-year-olds, man. I don't know. I know that sounds that sounds bad for me to say. A little condescending, I get it. But I want to make the point that No, he just said it. Like, are you kidding me? The rights are with, and when it comes to rights, but let me finish my statement. The rights are with us or anyone who wants to wear the glasses. They wouldn't even be out if it was illegal. It's not illegal to have the light or not have the light. These people almost border entitlement. You think you're entitled, and this is another problem. The entitlement, the audacity of you, because you want to behave like you're at home in your house where it's locked and nobody has entry in public. That's what you want. You want to decide when someone can see. I bet if you had it your way, you'd decide if somebody could even look at you. Because it's the same thing. All right, let me just keep going.
Single doorbell. Big Brother is everywhere. There's no privacy. Body cams on police officers were initially put together so that police officers could be held accountable if anything was to ever happen. And now people are using it as a Freedom of Information Act so that they can pull up, information on your latest celebrity or the latest gossip or something that happened as far as majorly somebody getting arrested, and they using it for that. And I'm like, what? What is going on? So now we're living in the future. And part of what living in the future is that you don't have any privacy. And even if you're in your own home, you can get recorded by somebody unsuspectingly wearing meta glasses. And I just don't like it. I don't like it. It's like we don't have any kind of personal privacy. You can choose to put your life online and live your life like an open book.
What is he talking about in your house? As far as I understand, they don't have a Zoom. You're telling me I don't even understand that. He said something about medical. I was reading something because I think he said something about you even in your house they can see you with the medical. I don't understand that. Sorry guys. Let me just let the clip play. I apologize. Let's go.
That's one thing, but to record other people unsuspectingly without them even knowing, it's kind of crazy, because if you vlog in, people could see the camera, right? They could see you holding up your camera or holding up your phone and talking to your phone or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I can deal with that. But
what's the difference? This is so good. So what's the difference if you got your camera held up and we can see you? I tell you what the difference is. Then we're like, oh, they got the camera on, so let me chill and not act up, or let me behave or act in a way that I feel is favorable for the camera, right? Most probably you're going to be acting like you're supposed to then, right? I mean, that's what I would assert. Now, these glasses, when you don't know if they're on or not, same thing will happen. You'll behave. Now, spoiler alert. You're going to hear a lady. He's got other people who's going to jump on here. You're going to hear a lady talking about some people who are drunk. And that's another reason why people shouldn't be able to film, because if you're drunk. So you want to be drunk and disorderly, and you don't want anybody to record that. But forget being drunk and disorderly or whatever, right? Watch. It's coming up. Oh, my gosh. This is a treasure trove of points that point to how people have just gotten so above themselves and so entitled. We used to, in the community, we used to use that word entitled for a certain group of people, and you guys know what I'm talking about. But now I'm seeing entitlement that's off the charts in our community. And people aren't going to like me saying that. Some people will be, in my estimation, a little more reasonable. Say, no, I get where Marcel's coming from. But most people will be like, what the hell is wrong with Marcel? I get it. I know the people. Okay? So here we go.
Being secretly recorded, the secret part is messed up. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like that. And now you're starting to see women that's complaining and saying, because, you can go in a bathroom, you can do anything. And then men going in women's bathroom.
First of all, no, sir. You go in the bathroom on any level. That's not cool. That's wrong. That's illegal That on so many levels. So don't conflate that with, you go to the bathroom with these glasses. If you go in the bathroom anyway, and it's a problem. So don't do that. Come on, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, that's not cool. That doesn't sound smart.
It's getting very, very bad, and I'm scared for the future. We already here, but you can't do anything. You can't even get pulled over in peace anymore.
All right, let me pause it again. Now look, you hear this guy, right? And I like this guy. This guy, in case you guys you guys should follow. This guy's pretty good. He's pretty good. His name's Anton. I forget his last name, but Anton, right? And he's really, I'm telling you, follow this guy. He's on YouTube. What's his last name? Anton, like Johnson. I gotta get it. I'll find it and I'll put it in the comments or something. Because you guys really, he does a great job with how he handles this stuff. But right here, I got to take him to task on a couple of things, right? So let's finish watching here.
It's a sad reality that we living in.
Has to be stopped.
Oh, wait.
Have to be stopped.
Wait, I wanted to make a point here, and I went off on a tangent. So he's all agreeing with this lady. She's going to say something about men that's not favorable to him. And then he's going to be like, oh, what? Then he turned around. And he wanted to get into that, but he realized that stay on topic. But he didn't like that. He was ready to discount or what do you call it? Cut this lady off, right? But he caught himself or whatever. So people are so emotional. You say one thing they don't like, and now they're ready to turn you the other side, turn you in. You're that's wrong. She has a right to her idea like you do. Watch, he's all pro this lady's position. Watch what happens. This is the hypocrisy, guys.
I had my first direct interaction
this
with
one right here,
today,
this lady.
and safe to say it's a no for me, dog. I'm volunteering at the LA Marathon. At the finish line, handing out medals. I'm at the special medal table. I check the lady's bib. She gets a special medal. I said, here you go. Congratulations. She said, thanks, 1 second. Hey, Meta, start recording. I said, oh. No. No, ma'am, no ham, no turkey. My mom's like, what are you doing? I said, she got these Meta glasses on. I'm not about to play with her. Get somebody else to do it. She had to get her medal from somebody else. You 2 feet from my face trying to record with these Meta glasses on? No. Act like you got some sense. Especially while they're currently in the news for third parties being able to access all the video and data that y'all capture on them things. No.
Now I gotta say, I don't think she's winning any Miss America pageants, but she's a fairly decent looking young lady, right? What is the problem? Right now she got like some scarf on, but she's a fairly decent young lady. What's the problem? We see you anyway. So I just don't get, I promise, please guys, help me out in the comments. We already see you. So why can't, I don't know. We already see you though. Oh, wait a minute. More people going to see me that's in front of me? What are you hiding? I just don't get it. I don't get it.
No.
No joke. These
Here it goes. This is the one.
Have gotten out of hand. I'm literally bartending today, and this girl comes up to me in distress, and she's like, "Hey, I really don't mean."
I know I'm pausing it. Look, really, I like to come on here and just talk to you anyway. But this is some background stuff so you guys can know. Ban Meta glasses. This lady wants to ban Meta glasses in bars ASAP. Right? Ban them. This is what people do. They don't like something and they just pull out ban, get rid of it. Right? Again, not thinking about the other side. See, this is entitlement. You're not thinking about, let's just say, for instance, the people who made the Meta glasses. And they came up with a product that people like. Obviously, people like them. They're buying them. And you just want them to just ban them because you don't like them. You haven't made any glasses. I don't know what you made, what you make. I don't know if you stood up for your country, to support our rights, like the First Amendment we were talking about. But you just ban them because you don't like them. You don't want to be seen in a certain light, right? This is irresponsible, in my opinion. Just look, I get an opinion like them, right? It's just irresponsible, and it shows you right now what's going on. And I'm saying it. Right now, the country's divided because we've got people on both sides who think that they should just have it their way. And at the same time, they're like when mom and dad, imagine it's as simple as this. You're at home, you're a kid, and mom and dad fussing and fighting. Mom won't cook because dad is mad about something, or she's mad about something with dad. Children don't get to eat, they're hungry. This is ridiculous, guys. It's ridiculous. Grown folks, and I'm making that correlation, or I'm making that parallel to where they shut down the whole country and people can't get paid, like TSA, innocent people. Because mom and dad, because the left and the right can't get along. Who cares? Who cares who thinks they're right? The fact is, you guys know these people aren't getting paid, but yet you still got people cheering for one or the other. That's the problem. It's amazing to me. That is so amazing to me. You got people, because you don't care. If you're not TSA and you're not affected, then you don't even care. You don't care until it's you, right? That's right. I'm pulling it all in. I'm taking this whole meta issue and I'm tying it into everything that's similar to that. You don't care. Those people they're not getting a check. Because your candidate, whether it's Trump or whether it's the other side, because your candidate wants something and wants to behave poorly. They're both behaving poorly, but you're still picking a side. You're the problem. You're the problem when you pick a side, Democrat or Republican. You're the problem. You're why TSA can't get paid, because they're only doing this to attract your attention. If you and the rest of you were smart enough to understand that we need to come together with the other Americans and say, we're not putting it up with it from either side, then maybe it won't happen. But there aren't any smart people on either side. The more I see people arguing about one side or the other, I just see stupidity. That's just me. You call me. I'm not trying to call you names. I'm telling you what I see. And I apologize if you feel like I'm name calling, but I'm not. I'm calling it like I see it, is what it's called. It's a little colloquialism that exists in our little ecosystems we live in, come from. Calling it like I see it, player.
Interrupt you, like I know you're bartending, but can I just tell you something real quick? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And she's like, that guy over there, and she was pointing to this guy, and she's like, he has on Meta glasses. She was like, he has a whole TikTok page dedicated to him recording super drunk girls, obviously without them knowing, without their consent.
So look, now, y'all probably already ahead of me. I know you are. I feel it. Super drunk girls, right? So you want to be super drunk, acting up and stuff, and you don't want nobody to see you. You don't want to be recognized. You just want to be drunk and falling down, doing all kinds of outlandish stuff, right? That's what you want to do. And you don't want nobody to say nothing, right? That's what I'm kind of getting out of it now. I don't know I'm kind of getting that out of it. Because she said super drunk girls at the bar, right? That's why I told you from the beginning of this video, I said, the byproduct of all of this is people are going to start behaving better. You're not gonna get all sloshed in the bar and act crazy and fall down off the chair, off the bar stool, and your underwear showing, and oh girl, I'm so drunk. You're not gonna do it. Well, you may do it anyway, because sometimes the lack of information or lack of knowledge will even transcend that. But most people would, logically come to a conclusion and say, well, I'm not going to, somebody might see it, or I don't want to be seen that way. I think it's a plus. All right. I think it's a great idea. It's exactly what society needs. Because the fact that we can see you anyway isn't enough for you to behave properly in public. The fact that people can see, people don't care. I don't care, man. I don't care who see me. Because it's a finite number of people, a small number of people maybe who see you, so you're cool with that. But now It could be anywhere, right? See, that's a problem for you. And that's what's going to make people behave better. We should all be saying hallelujah. We should. My brain goes past just, what's right in front of me. I happen to be able to see down the road a piece. So
And
I think
she's
it's a good thing.
he has a whole page dedicated to it. She's like, I've seen the page. I'm on the page. He recorded me when I was super drunk and I didn't know until I seen the page. She was like, I don't know like what we can do about this, but I'm really uncomfortable with him being here. She was like, he's literally recording a girl right now that he's having a conversation with. And I went over there and asked him, is he recording? He lied straight to my face and said no. And she's like,
Is he? Can he see you? I know people. I gotta keep saying it because I know, man. Some people hear me. Some people may agree, right? Yeah. If you agree, you agree. If you don't, you don't. But there are people who are like, I cannot believe Marcel is saying what he said, right? And this is what we have here. What you should believe is that Marcel hit this button because he can, and he just decided to go in and have a little conversation about this. That's all. What's wrong with that? Marcel can't do that because it ain't even about you. You're not even the person. So I can't. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
just like going on about it, like, and I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna get the manager because like I'm not really sure what I can do for you, and I'm like, I'm honestly not even sure what he can do for you because I don't know that this is technically like illegal.
She don't even know.
And she's like, yeah, I don't really.
She said, I don't even know if this is technically like illegal. She doesn't even know. Remember I told you about understanding, awareness, knowledge, or lack thereof? That's what ignorance is. Not knowing, just simply not knowing or not understanding, not being aware, all that's in line with it. But she's on here ranting about, I don't even know if it's legal or not, but it's just wrong. Wow. Now, remember this guy. Look at this guy, Anton, with the white bag chaser's hat on. He's all in. Watch this. Watch what happens. I'm glad I watched this first because this is a great point.
No, but like I just know like he makes me super uncomfortable, and I just don't think that's cool. And like people should know that they're being recorded, blah blah blah.
They should.
And I'm just
They
like,
should.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, drunk or not, you should at least tell somebody.
People should know if they're being recorded, right? Yeah. Watch this. They should know, and they will know. People can know if they're being recorded, right? By simply expecting that they're being recorded. Let me say that again. People should know when they're being recorded by simply expecting to be recorded. You conduct yourself in a way that if someone is recording you, you don't have a problem with it, right? People use, back in the day, you can go back to the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, 60s, 50s, or 40s, or 20s, or beyond that. People used to behave different too, based on, well, I don't want to be acting like that, and people think that but that went away. Over the years, people just start not caring what people saw. It's instant. They saw me. I don't know them anyway. I'll be right. So that's what happened with society. We degraded to that. So this plays back. Now, I believe that at some point we'll go through a phase where people behave better, but then they'll just say, what the hell, I don't care, they saw me anyway. It's just going to degrade back to that at some point. But at least we'll have a little brief period where people will care a little bit till it wears off. But anyway,
That you're filming them.
Here it comes, guys.
Bare
Here it comes.
minimum,
Watch.
at the least.
He agrees. Watch
But at the
this.
same time, it's like just
Here it
like
goes.
you can't consent to sexual activity when you're drunk, you also can't consent to being recorded, when you're drunk. So I just think it's like a weird line, and I just feel like we need to ban meta glasses for men just like we need to ban mics for men, because why you would think this is
what?
a cool
What?
niche, and why you would think
What?
that.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it here. Boy, I tell you, you can't get any better. You can't get a better example than this. You can't, man. This is textbook example of how children how these young, childlike minded people are. This guy was all astute. He was all, prefacing everything with, yeah, I agree. You shouldn't be able to agreeing with these people. Now, this lady had an idea. Her idea was we need to ban men from using meta glasses. And we need to ban men from using mics. You see that big old microphone in front of him. Now, he's disturbed. See, that's some childish stuff, right? He shouldn't have been triggered by that. He should have had the same, in my estimation, in my opinion, right? He should have had the same energy for all that other stuff she was ranting about. He should have just been like, wow, she even said the microphone's for the men, but she's got to, I understand how some women can feel that way, and she's got a point there. And maybe could have even chimed in and said, I don't think that men should be banned with mics and stuff like that, and said his little piece, and it would have been cool. But he was disturbed. He couldn't even, he just had to emotionally react to that. And I think that's childish. I think you should be in charge of your emotions better than that, especially if you're on here giving your opinion like I am. I'm giving my opinion about it. And people could say all day, Marcel, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about or whatever. And I really don't care. And it's not that I think I'm right anyway and I don't care. It's that I know that you have a right to your own opinion, and you could be right. I don't have to be right. I think I believe I'm right, and I don't have to subscribe to your opinion of me or what you think of me. I just don't have to, especially if I believe in myself and I understand what I'm saying is what I believe. Now, if there's a deficit and I really don't believe what I'm saying or don't believe what I'm speaking here, there's a deficit where I don't have enough a certain level of self-esteem where I don't I'm on the fence and somebody can really shatter that for me, then maybe I will get triggered. But I can't get triggered if I understand myself, if I have knowledge of who Marcel is, if I understand who I am, and no matter what, this is my position and I'm cool with it, and I'm open to being ridiculed in any way. Seriously. I think if we all, this is just my opinion, if we all are able to do that, to be ridiculed and just be like, okay, that's how you see me. You get to see me. I'm not God. I don't make people. I just had a conversation with somebody the other day. I don't make people. So I can't try to make you feel a certain way about me or a thing. Right? I can just comment on it like the next person, even when it's me, and the world will be a better place, I believe, if we all really believed in ourselves to the level that they can call you whatever they want to call you. And as far as I'm concerned, if somebody calls you out of your name, call you an idiot or whatever, that's actually what you are. Did you know that if somebody calls you an idiot or stupid or whatever that's not flattering to you, that's exactly who and what you are, whether you know it or not. To them, that's who you are, and you don't get to tell them or dictate what they should think of you, especially when you already know who you are. You just don't have to subscribe to it. That's all. You don't have to believe it, That's like somebody telling you you don't have any arms and laughing at you. And a crowd of people, you walk in the room and they keep laughing at, why are these people laughing at me? Shoot, what's so funny? Let me in on it. You don't know it, man. You don't have any arms. And you clearly have arms. So, what do you mean I don't have any arms? What are you talking about? We don't see any arms on you at all. You mean like guns or something? No arms. Your arms are gone. And you clearly see your arms. Just follow the analogy. Are you going to be upset or are you probably laugh? Like, what the hell is wrong with these people? I clearly have arms. I don't take hallucinogenics. I have arms. Maybe they're all on it. I would assume that they're all on something. because I'm very confident that I actually have arms. So when you're confident in who you are, it has nothing to do with being narcissistic or full of yourself or nothing. It just has to do with understanding who you are. And I think a lot of people don't understand who they are or don't believe in themselves. And that's why we have so many arguments and stuff. Just my opinion. That's all.
That's the way to get followers and clout. Like, that's so odd and strange. And like, what kind of man are you? You know? Like,
Look,
ew.
he don't
Yuck.
like that. Look at him.
Wait a minute. We went from making sure that you ban Meta glasses in bars to making sure that we ban Meta glasses from men.
So you hear him? He said, "Wait a minute. We went from something that I agree with you on to something that that's what he's saying. We went from something that I agree with you on to something that hurt my feelings. Now, wait a minute." Then he caught himself and said, I'm not going to go in. I'm going to just stick to the top, which is smart. But you see, he could have just said, wow, that's interesting. She done banned mics and everything like that too. Wow, okay. And kept going. But he was visibly triggered, but he caught himself because he's an experienced YouTuber. This guy has millions of followers, which that means something in that world, right? You got millions of people who agree with you. There are billions on the planet. And there could, not, just for an example, I'm not saying this is the case because I have a lot of respect for this. I've seen a lot of things that he's done, and I agree with even some of the stuff in here. But you got 1 million or 3 million or 5 million views or followers. It could be 5 million fools as far as I'm concerned, or at least 2 million fools and 1 million people who might be sensible. I don't know. But that's our bar now. Our bar is how many people are following you. You got to be right if that many people are following you, even though there's 7 to 9 billion people in the world. But, if that's what you hold as credibility or makes you a thing, then be a thing, You really don't need anybody to validate you but you. But anyway, we'll keep moving.
Like we need to ban microphones from men.
He's still triggered.
Anyways, I'm going to stay on task. I'm not going to get into
caught
that
himself. He's smart.
It always turns into some feminist agenda. Now you start to make me think
wait a minute. So he threw that little dig. See, I don't agree with that. He didn't have to throw that little dig in there. Some feminist agenda. That lady has an idea. That was her idea. Why do you have to throw that little feminist agenda in there? She's a woman. She can be sensitive to some things that men do. Right? Why it's got to be the feminist agenda? We never even hear of the word You can tell when we don't even hear the word feminist except for in one lane. And when it comes to talking or speaking poorly about women deciding a thing based on their gender versus a man's. Right? That's the only time we hear feminist. Right? That's it. And there's certainly many other ways that term will fit into everyday vernacular, but we just hear it when we want to weaponize. It's a weaponized term. The feminist agenda. Yeah, women can have an agenda. And until you become a woman, seriously. See, this is, again, until you become a woman, you can't say anything about a woman's agenda or a feminist agenda because you're not a woman. And you certainly, as a black person, would say something about how, white people don't understand how black people are because they're not black. You haven't lived in this skin. Same thing. But she can't have an agenda. I think she should have an agenda, And men do behave a certain way that triggers women that we may not even be aware of. I'm not trying to just take up for the sake of this argument, this debate here. I'm being honest. You got to be open to everybody, right? She has every right to feel if she doesn't like the glasses. She stated that, and then she doesn't like also men having a mic because she feels like maybe, I'm not putting anything in her mouth, any words in her mouth. She might feel like when men have the mic, they berate women or she doesn't appreciate it. Now, I personally don't think it's fair that you should take the mic away from all men, But I certainly understand her position on that. And I'm not even a woman. But I'm able to open up and seriously, I'm able to open up and say, no, I get that. I get that. And I should never understand fully because I'm not a woman. I don't walk around 24 hours a day as a woman, right? So I don't know. Nor does she walk around every day like a man and understand what it is about. Guys, it's about understanding. It is. It's about understanding. Boy, man, if we can ever get to a point where we can allow people to be who they are and accept them, actually accept them, even if you don't agree, you don't have to. And all that agree to disagree, that's childish. I'm saying you can disagree. You don't have to agree to disagree. You can just accept someone else's perspective. I know it means pretty much the same thing, but I like to say it that way. Look, you don't have to live by it. You don't have to be indoctrinated by it. You don't have to do anything except accept it. Meaning, truly, hey, look, I understand you can have a perspective like different from mine. I just don't have to subscribe to it. So go ahead, sister. That's I'm telling you, man. Boy, if we could get there, if we can get to that, we wouldn't have no problem. And I think that's part of what God, if for those that believe in God, I think that's what God wants, just for us to just be able to allow everybody to be who they are and accept them. Because we don't make people, guys. We're not in the people making business. So you don't get to tell people what's wrong and right, what they should think and because you don't make them. Only God knows. I mean, I'm not trying to get all biblical or nothing because I'm not really. Just saying. People amaze me with that, right? Anyway, let's keep moving here. Yeah.
It's yourself then. But anyways, long story short, I just think that this is a privacy issue. I know that Facebook and Meta maybe doesn't care, Instagram, all of that. They just trying to sell a ton of glasses and get people into the ecosystem while at the same time being able to use the data for what they want to use it for. But people are using it to actually grow their platforms. They go out like predators to record people, similar to what she just said, drunk people that are unsuspecting. And then you could just wake up and find yourself on the internet. And
yeah. Yeah. And that makes them predators, he says. You're preying on people. Like you're like a stalking tiger preying on the, Yeah, how are you? How is someone? And I'm not defending it. I'm just putting it out there. How is somebody a predator? You can't be prey if you're not behaving poorly. It's not like based on listening to both sides here. It's not like they're upset with people shooting them when they're behaving like they should be behaving, or the assumption of what your behavior should be. It's not like nobody has a problem with that. She even said when ladies were drunk and stuff. Come on, boy, I tell you, it's getting harder and harder for me. I'm just going to say this. In fact, I'm going to get on the camera and say this because I want to be seen. I'm going to admit something. It's getting, in my old age, over the last 10 years, I can tell you, maybe even longer, but it's getting more and more difficult for me to understand how some people think and reason. I really don't. I'm really not getting. It never bothered me so much, and not bother me in losing sleep, but I've never paid attention to it. But people are something. To me, it seems like the reasoning in people, the how they reason, the logic in them is amazing to me. Every day I see all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, wow, I don't say anything, but I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm turning to truly an old grandpa. I'll be 60 in August. I'm an old grandpa. I'm just old. Maybe that's it. It's something. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's something. So, anyway, that's pretty much the end of this thing here. And I got to go to, I lost my place in here. Let me find it again. Sorry, guys. Let's go to trimmer, and I was somewhere way down here, I think, where he came on by himself. I think we're somewhere right around here. Sorry, guys. So let's watch. All right.
The way you being recorded and the way you have to interact with people because there's no more normal people. Good God, bro. Can't go nowhere and do nothing without being recorded. Jesus. Lord, help us out. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon.
The Lord is helping you out, sir. That's where these cameras came from. That's where Meta came from. You just don't see it yet. You just don't see it yet. That's all. You don't understand. You don't see the big picture yet. It's okay. It's okay. It really is. It's okay. You just don't see the big picture yet. That's all. The Lord is helping you out, my friend. And when you have that eureka moment, you'll see it too. You'll get it. Yeah, you'll get it. You'll be like, oh, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching.